If you still believe you are the cause of someone else's failures, you're being misled. Narcissists will never take responsibility for their mistakes. Instead, they make you feel guilty for problems that were never yours to fix. The worse they fail, the harder they point fingers at you. Today, we'll unravel the 8 reasons why narcissists always blame you for their failures. Are you ready for number 1? Narcissists can't handle shame. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a clinical psychologist specializing in narcissism, explains that shame is the Achilles heel of a narcissist. They will do anything to avoid feeling it, even if it means rewriting reality. Failure isn't just a setback for them, it's a full-blown identity crisis. When something goes wrong, instead of taking responsibility, they twist the story so that you're the villain and they're the victim. It's like playing a rigged game where no matter what, they walk away clean, and you're left wondering what just happened. But here's the real kicker. This blame shifting isn't even about you. It's about their desperate need to protect their image. According to psychiatrist Dr. Craig Malkin, author of Rethinking Narcissism, narcissists survive by crafting a grandiose self-image, and any crack in that illusion is too much to bear. That's why they lash out, guilt trip, or gaslight you. It's all a defense mechanism to keep their fragile ego intact. The more you argue, the more they double down, because admitting fault would mean facing the very thing they fear most, that they're not as perfect as they pretend to be. Let's talk about number 2. Narcissists need to maintain superiority. For a narcissist, admitting a mistake is a direct threat to their entire identity. Their self-worth is built on the illusion that they're smarter, more capable, and just better than everyone else. If they own up to failure, that illusion shatters. So instead, they shift the blame onto you. Psychologist Dr. Les Carter, author of When Pleasing You is Killing Me, explains that narcissists see relationships as a power struggle, not a partnership. Admitting fault would mean losing, and they refuse to be the loser. That's why, no matter what happens, it's always your fault. You misunderstood, you overreacted, you didn't support them enough. And here's the frustrating part. They believe their excuses. Dr. George Simon, an expert in manipulative personalities, notes that narcissists don't just lie to others. They lie to themselves first. They convince themselves that their failure was caused by you. Your negativity, your lack of faith, your inability to understand their brilliance. But don't fall for it. Their need for superiority isn't about you. It's about their fear of being ordinary. And in their world, that's the worst thing they could ever be. Let's move on to number 3. Narcissists lack emotional maturity. Have you ever seen a grown adult throw a tantrum because things didn't go their way? That's a narcissist in action. Dealing with failure requires emotional maturity, the ability to reflect, learn, and grow. Dr. Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, explains that self-awareness and accountability are key to personal growth, but narcissists avoid both to protect their fragile egos. In their mind, Shifting blame isn't just a defense mechanism, it's survival. And don't expect them to learn from their mistakes. Dr. Craig Malkin points out that narcissists see every failure as a threat, not an opportunity to grow. That's why they lash out instead of reflecting. Rather than ask themselves, what could I have done differently? They go straight to who can I blame? And since they lack emotional regulation, their reactions can be explosive, cruel, or downright manipulative. Meanwhile, you're left cleaning up the mess, feeling like you have to prove you didn't cause their downfall. But here's the truth. Their failures aren't yours to carry. And no matter how much they blame you, their inability to take responsibility will always be their problem, not yours. Now, let's continue to number 4. Narcissists use you as a scapegoat. Simon Baron-Cohen, an expert on manipulative behaviors, describes scapegoating as a tactic that keeps the narcissist in control while making the victim question their reality. Narcissists need someone to carry the weight of their failures so they can keep their perfect image intact. Whether it's in a relationship, at work, or even in their family, they'll pick a target. Usually someone empathetic, responsible, and willing to smooth things over. No matter what happens, they twist the story so that they walk away spotless, and you're left covered in the mess. And the worst part is that the more you defend yourself, the guiltier you look. They'll gaslight you into believing you did mess up, or they'll rally others to see you as the problem. Before you know it, you're apologizing for things you didn't even do, while they play the innocent victim. But here's the truth. Their need for a scapegoat isn't about you. It's about them running from the consequences they refuse to face. And as long as you let them, they'll keep handing you the blame while they walk away clean. You shouldn't miss number 5. Narcissists fear losing control. Narcissists see life as a power game, and admitting failure would mean losing control, not just over the situation, but over you. If they admit fault, even once, it opens the door to the terrifying possibility that they're not as powerful, competent, or in charge as they pretend to be. Instead, they flip the script and make you the problem. Dr. Deborah Tannen, a linguist who studies power dynamics in relationships, explains that narcissists use blame as a conversational weapon, shifting focus away from their flaws and keeping others on the defensive. And that's precisely what happens. They get to stay in control, avoiding accountability while making you second-guess yourself. And here's the kicker. The more you fight back, the harder they dig in. That's why they gaslight, deflect, and turn the blame around on you. It's not about the truth. It's about making sure they win. If they can keep you confused, apologizing, or trying to explain yourself, then they've already succeeded. Meanwhile, they walk away with their ego intact, leaving you to clean up the emotional wreckage. Are you still up for number 6? Narcissists reframe reality to suit their narrative. In the narcissist's world, truth isn't based on facts. It's based on whatever makes them look good. When something goes wrong, they don't see it as a lesson to learn from. They see it as a threat to their carefully crafted image. So, Instead of accepting responsibility, they twist the story until they come out looking like the hero or the victim, and you end up being the villain. This is why you can have cold, hard evidence that they were at fault, and they'll still insist you misunderstood, misheard, or made it all up. And the more you try to argue, the deeper you sink into their illusion. Dr. Stephen Hassan, an expert in psychological manipulation, describes this tactic as coercive persuasion, where a person subtly controls the narrative until others begin doubting themselves. That's why, after a long argument with a narcissist, you might walk away feeling confused, exhausted, and even guilty. They've successfully reframed reality to make you feel like the problem. But here's the truth. It was never about what happened. It was about making sure their version of events was the only one that mattered. And as long as they can keep you questioning yourself, they never have to face the truth. Let's keep it moving to number 7. Narcissists project their insecurities onto you. Narcissists can't handle their flaws, so instead of dealing with them, they dump them onto you. If they feel insecure about their intelligence, they'll call you dumb. If they're afraid of being seen as weak, suddenly you're the overly emotional one. It's a psychological defense mechanism that keeps them from confronting their shortcomings. Dr. Carl Jung, a famous psychologist, explained that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. But narcissists don't want self-awareness. They want an escape. And that escape is turning you into a mirror, forcing you to carry the shame they refuse to face. And the worst part is that the more they project, the more you start questioning yourself. Dr. Carol McBride, author of Will I Ever Be Good Enough, notes that narcissists are masters of making you feel like the very thing they fear about themselves. If they're failing at work, they'll accuse you of being unmotivated. If they feel unlovable, they'll claim you're the one pushing them away. Over time, their words can sink in, making you wonder if maybe they're right. But they're not. Their projection isn't a reflection of you. It's a confession of who they truly are. They just can't admit it. Finally, we're down to number 8. Narcissists keep you in a guilt trap. Dr. Susan Forward, author of Emotional Blackmail, explains that manipulators use guilt to control people, making them feel obligated to meet their endless demands. When they blame you for their failures, it's not just about dodging responsibility. It's about keeping you emotionally chained to them. If you believe you're the reason they didn't succeed, you'll bend over backward trying to fix things, prove your worth, or earn back their approval. Narcissists thrive on this. The more you try to make things right, the more power they have over you, because they know you'll keep trying, even when nothing is ever good enough. And here's the worst part. The guilt trap keeps you from walking away. When you feel responsible for someone else's failures, leaving them feels like abandonment, even when they're the ones mistreating you. They want you stuck in a cycle of fixing, apologizing, and proving yourself, while they sit back and let you carry the weight of their problems. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for their failures. The moment you stop playing their game, you take back your power. And that's the one thing they never want you to realize. In the end, a narcissist's failures are never their fault. At least, not in their mind. Instead of owning up to their mistakes, they twist the story and pin the blame on you. It's not about truth. It's about protecting their ego at all costs. But here's the reality. You are not responsible for their choices, their flaws, or their lack of success. The sooner you stop accepting blame that isn't yours, the sooner you take back your power. Let them point fingers. Just don't be there to catch the blame.